It is my honor to stand before you today, as proud as any man can be, as the leader of this great alliance. Together, through mutual endeavor, we've become a real force in the labor movement. Through the most ferocious assault on workers in our time, this union has grown. We have grown in numbers while the ranks of labor have diminished, and we have grown in influence if we have stood together, strong and proud in defiance of those who would seek to destroy unions and take the voice of workers away. We must not and will never let that happen. We have locked our arms together and resolved that working families and IATSE members deserve the respect and dignity that representation and union contracts provide. We have stood shoulder to shoulder with those who share these ideals with us, whether they are other unions, politicians, community leaders, or progressive groups whose interests align with ours. Our opponents are single-minded, well-organized and financed, and vicious. A line has been drawn in the sand, and the many allies on our side can only succeed if we continue to work together. We're on the right side of this fight, the fight for good jobs with fair pay, the security of health and retirement benefits, the protection of a healthy and safe workplace, and a strong, unwavering voice with a loud, clear message that these are our rights and we will fight for them and we will not give up. In order to succeed, we need to introduce new initiatives that build strength and cohesion for the long haul, and we've begun to do so. Since the 66th Quadrennial Convention in 2009, emphasis has been placed on building a framework to support our goals. Growth and strength depend on developing and sustaining an infrastructure that encourages and supports organizing, good contracts, and jobs for our members. To this end, we have begun 4 major initiatives. First, we have worked to create an environment ripe for the IATSE and unions in general to succeed. This means activism. We've built an unprecedented political machine to do our part. A network from the Office of the International President to officers, representatives, staff, districts, locals, stewards, and members and their friends, family, and neighbors. The IA has become an organized, coordinated, and potent part of the labor movement's political action efforts. Those efforts have included support for labor-friendly legislation, opposition to legislative and policy attacks on workers, as well as local, state, and provincial candidates who support our interests, and in particular, our industry. We have also participated in national matters in both the United States and Canada, including the recent U.S. presidential election, and we won. It is noteworthy that our activism has raised our profile and opened doors we will use when our interests require. Through our battle against digital theft, we've been a central player throughout the U.S. and Canada. From the White House to the Congress in the United States to the Parliament in Canada, the IATSE remains at the core of the discussion. Employment for our members is at risk, and we must continue to do whatever is necessary to protect them. We've employed activism in the labor community with a much more engaged role in efforts of the AFL-CIO and the CLC. The catalyst for many of these efforts related to the rabid attacks on workers. We were called upon and answered that call. With too many rallies and demonstrations to mention, the IATSE showed a strong presence. Perhaps the most symbolic of all, on the steps of the Wisconsin State House, where we made our voices heard loud and clear, that an injury to one is an injury to all. And if you're looking for a fight, you came to the right place. We supported other unions, built bridges, and contributed with boots on the ground, money, and the unique assets we bring as entertainment workers. We've called upon our friends, and they've been there for us too, helping us organize, achieve recognition, settle disputes, and sharing information. For the first time in 25 years, we were honored by the presence of a top AFL-CIO official at our General Executive Board meeting. Secretary-Treasurer Liz Schuler, the first woman Secretary-Treasurer in the history of the AFL-CIO, addressed the board, representatives, and attendant guests in what was a testament to the importance of our integral role in the labor community. We must continue to build relationships and forge new alliances, not only to protect ourselves, but to pursue an agenda that furthers the interests of IATSE members and workers in general. We can do this using our rich history, unique identity, and the tremendous pride we feel as members of this great union. As leaders, we are charged with providing the membership with the best possible representation. From the bottom up and top down, this means equipping our ranks with the tools to do so. To this end, leadership education has become a major priority and initiative for the IA. We have implemented the Labor Education Assistance Program, providing funding so that local officers may hone their skills, stay current on issues, learn about the laws that apply to unions, and engage those who they were chosen to lead. We have run education programs at the General Executive Board meetings where many locals attend, and at every district convention, education seminars have been presented so that our program can reach all the locals, big or small, and irrespective of craft or region. The International has led by example by holding annual training events for the officers and representatives and has offered special seminars and individual courses as well. In addition, we launched a traveling roadshow to educate the rank and file about current labor issues, the history of the IA, and why unions remain vital now more than ever. And this, thank you. In this challenging economic environment, with corporate and shareholder interests compressing advancements for workers, we need a full toolbox. Our members and their families are worthy, deserving of comfort and security, and we can best provide this through successful education of our responsibilities as their leadership, continuing to reinvent ourselves through knowledge and education. The membership has selected its leaders, entrusting us to act on their behalf in crucial matters for themselves and their families, and we are morally obligated to do our best to deliver. It's a profound obligation and no small matter to have trust placed in you, and this must remain in the forefront of our thinking. To that end, leadership development must remain a priority into the future. Because of the work we've done together, I have the distinct honor and privilege of standing before what I truly believe to be the best group of labor leaders in the union movement. I mean that. I thank you for your sacrifice, your commitment, and your solidarity. Thank you. Thank you. In order to secure our rightful place in the industries in which we work, we must continue to improve upon our already substantial craft expertise. Growth, strength, and prosperity correlate with skills, safety, and professionalism. To this end, we have formed the first bona fide training trust since our founding 120 years ago in 1893. The IATSE Entertainment and Exhibition Industries Trust Fund provides skills and safety training that will help our members advance their careers by mastering their crafts, staying current on technology, and thereby increasing job opportunities. From turnkey audiovisual certification training through our partnership with Infocom to reimbursement for certification with ETCP, the Trust is proactively offering services to meet training needs in as many crafts and geographic jurisdictions as possible. The Trust is responsive to the specific needs locals identify in the crafts they represent, and there are a number of avenues to obtain assistance for training. Local unions may request support for training unique to them and receive reimbursement. More and more locals are negotiating employer contributions to the Trust in their contracts, and there are now more than 400 contributing employers. These numbers are continuing to grow, and this trust will increase its ability to assist locals and their members. The progress to date has been noteworthy, with the hiring of full-time staff and the development of more and more programs being added. We must remain the best at what we do. We must leave the employers no other viable choice for choosing their labor force. And brothers and sisters, we must do all we can, everything in our power, to equip our members with the training and the safest on-the-job practices. A single injury or death is one too many, unacceptable and intolerable. We owe it to our members and their families to support and advance craft and safety training. One need only watch the news these days to understand the depth and breadth of the use of communications and social media. Nations rise and fall, businesses are made or broken, candidates win or lose, and social issues become part of the culture, or not, because of the incredible potency of these tools. The technological advancements that support modern communications have become part and parcel to the operation and success of the IATSE. In July of 2011, a communications department was established to creatively and actively manage how we interact with each other and the world at large. The use of common social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Flickr, Instagram, and others were evaluated and used to forward our strategic purposes and goals. A new website was designed and launched, bringing the members and others who interact with us an intuitive and aesthetically pleasing site that profiles the IATSE in an advanced, slick, and respectable way. But make no mistake, the communications used by the IATSE are not isolated to simple exposure and publicity of our activities. Elements of the program can be seen in all the other pillars as well. We've effectively used these tools to support candidates, policies, and social issues that benefit our members. We've publicized educational opportunities and established means for our members to interact online. Information on craft skills and safety is shared via numerous web platforms. The core of our activities is now supported by a robust and sophisticated communications machine. Organizing, bargaining, contract ratification, and job actions are supported by the communications department. And use of our communication assets has become integral in almost everything we do. What I've described here are the basic premises beyond the four pillars, which I believe will sustain and strengthen this great union well into the future. It is incumbent upon us all to do our part. These are not simply ideas that propel us forward. They are not initiatives that succeed because the principles make sense. The success of these programs, and thereby this union, depend entirely on buy-in and participation. The IATSE has always been the sum of its parts. We have seen what can be done through mutual endeavor and solidarity, and our many successes prove that the membership at large benefits from the combined power of this great alliance. The activities described throughout the President's report to the 67th Quadrennial Convention clearly demonstrate that we are active, vital, and improving. But the concepts outlined for the vision of the future must be refined, focused, and accomplish our goal, which is quite simply prosperity for IA members. A pillar cannot be viewed as an end unto itself. It must support something bigger, bolder, and more profound. Atop the pillars of success must lay true and tangible rewards. More money, better contracts, protective conditions, and meaningful benefits that provide security throughout life. To this end, my brothers and sisters, it is growth, strength, shared vision, and solidarity that will carry the day. Thank you.